Okay, in the beginning at this part, we'll try to put this part in the beginning. After the 3 tips, here's the 3 tips and the 4 secrets you want to know in your early academic or university years. Now in our real life, we all have to compete with the other people. Either if you are in the workforce, trying to compete for a promotion, or if you're a business owner, trying to compete with the other competitors, the real world is full of competition. In order for us to reach our dream and reach our goal faster, the first thing we need to understand is that the real world does not always play fair. During our university years, the exam is either closed book or open book. But everyone follows the same rule. They all get the same lecture, the same teacher, the same book, the same notes. And in the exam we sit, we all get the same time to finish the exam. But in the real world, we need to understand that it's no longer just open book or closed book. It's always open book, but rather it's about finding the right book or books to help you. It's about finding the right knowledge or the right key skills. Not only that, it's also open networks and the connections of people you know. It's also open resources, open strategies, open tactics in order to help you succeed. So rather than trying to become the fastest runner in the race, in the real world, we need to understand there's a way that the smart people or the successful people are doing things. They try to build a car using the knowledges, the key skills, their network, their resource, strategy, tactics, to put them behind the wheel, rather than trying to just become the fastest runner. Now let's all face it, even the fastest runner in the world cannot really compete with a car, right? So after I understand this, my goal today is to give you a head start, to save you time on trying to figure this out by yourself. Now, let's all be honest here. In today's free training, because we only got 60 minutes, there's no way that I can share enough knowledge or skills with you to put you behind the wheel, to help you build your own car. But the goal for today's training is to just give you a head start, to save you time on trying to figure this out on your own. And hopefully after 60 minutes, it will save you time. And after knowing the 3 tips and the 4 secrets that I share with you today, at least you will be started, at least you will learn how to start looking for a bike. Now that's our goal today. Now this is our goal for today's free training, free webinar, is to help you start looking for a bike. And hopefully out of those 3 tips and 4 secrets, you will know where to look for a bicycle to get your head start. And if you apply those 3 tips and those 4 secrets after today's training, I guarantee you that sooner or later, you will become the gentleman who's driving the car rather than become the fastest runner. Okay, that being said, we'll start with today's training. And then blah, 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 blah. I've already covered the first parts. Now, secret number 1 is now just tip number 1. Secret number 2 is tip number 2. And we'll continue from tip number 3. Tip number 3, develop the 12 centric key skills as early as possible. Gain those 12 key knowledge as soon as possible. Now here's the 12 key knowledges or skills that I've identified over the last 22 years. Each one of those key skills or key knowledges can give us a real unfair competitive advantage over the other competitors. Those are self-learning skills, financial knowledge or fundraising skills, innovation, creative thinking, time management skills, implementation skills like planning and project management, execution, marketing skills like marketing strategy, tactics, internet advertising skills like Facebook ads, YouTube ads, communication skills, how to deliver your message to the world, how to communicate with people so that they can help you. Sales skills, which includes interviewing skills, how to sell yourself, not just selling the products or services as well, but how to sell yourself to the company, how to get key interviews, how to choose the company you want to work for rather than the company choose you. Team building skills, hiring skills, outsourcing skills, how to develop a team or hire the right people or outsource to the right people to help you achieve certain goals. Leadership skills, how to become a leader. And last, delegation skills, how to transform your team members from followers into leaders themselves so they can each develop a team to help you grow and to help you success as well. Notice that I didn't use a simple score sheet or a bar graph for those 12 skills. I've used this matrix, this diagram, because lots of the skills are actually correlated. And the result, sorry, delete the result. And after 22 years of searching for key skills and knowledges, I have to confess, I need to confess this. I need to confess that it's up until recently, I just realized that those skills are correlated. Now, if I want to succeed, if I want to success in the real world, it's not just about developing those skills individually. In the real world, it's not X plus Y plus Z. For example, this is my diagram of the skills that I had in the early years. And you guys can see that it's a star shape, which doesn't cover a lot of areas. Hence a smaller chance of success. No wonder I failed over the last 22 years. The key here is I've discovered that since a lot of skills are correlated, our successful rate is actually X times Y times Z, and sometimes even times W. So for example, let's say if I only have the marketing skills, even if my marketing skills is a 10, if I don't have the correlated implementation or execution skills, or if I don't have the correlated internet advertising skills or communication skills, marketing skills itself can only probably make me a good employee in the organization, and I'll never become a leader. In order to success in the real world, I need to develop those correlated skills like internet advertising and communication, and then I can become a good marketer and perhaps a high position leader in the marketing team. Now further, if I can even develop the sales skills, I will be able to communicate with the sales department. I can become the CMO, the Chief Marketing Officer, to handle all the marketing activities within an organization. Another example of this is sales skills. If I only know how to sell, well, I can probably be a good salesperson. But if I really want to success in today's world, I need to develop those correlated skills like team building, hiring, and leaderships. With these other two correlated skills, I'll be able to become the CSO, the Chief Sales Officer, or the head of sales, to handle the whole sales department or the sales team. Now, knowing this is really crucial if we want to put ourselves behind the driving vehicle, if we want to put ourselves behind the wheel to drive a vehicle rather than become the fastest runner. I've discovered that most fast runners concentrate on one skill only or several skills individually, and hence a star shape, and hence a smaller chance to success. Mathematically, let's say if we have 3 skills, each with a score of 10, x plus y plus z, if they are not correlated, your chance of success score is 30. But if we can just develop those skills that are correlated, all of a sudden it becomes 10 times 10 times 10. Our score is 1,000, okay? Compared to 30, which will have a much better chance to success. So I'm posing here in the video. Now here's a few more examples of how to develop those skills that are correlated. If you know those 3 skills, you can become a head of research and development rather than just a member of research and development. The innovation skills, the implementation skills, and the marketing skills. If you can learn self-learning, dedication, leadership, and team building, you can become a good head of human resources, or you can even become a good CEO or a COO. Okay, a few more examples will be added here by Jenny, and then we'll come back and cover this part after Jenny finishes the diagrams. Now let's just quickly review our 3 tips. Tip number 1, identify our dreams as early as possible. Plan, set a step-by-step simple goals. Tip number 2, find the right way, the right path. Try to think 3.0 or 4.0. 99% of the time, there's always a better way. And if we only think 1.0 to 2.0, we're trying to become the fastest runner. If we can think outside the box, or if we keep searching for how the successful people in the real world is doing things, we will realize often there's a better solution. There's a way to put up a car, to build up a car, and to put yourself behind the wheel, rather than trying to become the fastest runner. Tip number 3 is that we want to develop our 12-centric skills as early as possible. Even if you can't develop all of them, you need to have a basic understanding. Sorry, not you. Even if we can't, we want to develop our 12-centric skills as early as possible. Even if we can't develop all 12 skills, we want to identify the key knowledges that are correlated, which are most important to help our success in our dream or our goals. And we all must have at least a basic understanding on what those 12 key knowledges are. Now we move on to the next topic, the 4 secrets that I've developed, that I've discovered just recently. In the last 15 months, after a lot of real intensive learning. Once I realized the first 3 tips that I just shared with you, it only gave me a head start. But in order to get there sooner, faster, easier, in the last 15 months, I've actually discovered the 4 key secrets that successful people use to help them build their own car on how to success. Now here they are. Secret number 1 is about identifying the missing puzzle, the key knowledge that is required. Remember that at the beginning, I shared a story with you that some of my friends just want to become financially independent as soon as possible. But some of us want to do this on ourselves rather than try to find someone who can provide for the family and stay home as a housewife or a house husband. So for my friends who want to become financially independent. First, we need to work out how much money do we need in order to become financially independent. And after a quick research, we found out it's somewhere around $1 million USD. If we add inflation into it, it's somewhere around $1.25 million. And with this compound interest rate calculator, we can easily work out how much money do we need to save and put into investment each year in order to get there. Now, if we start with $10,000 and we regularly saved another $10,000 each year for investment, with a compound interest rate of 5%, it will take us 40 years. For most of my friends, it's too long. So we work out that if we can just increase our savings by $10,000, now let's assume that our average salary per year is around $50,000 a year, or more if you and your wife or husband are both working. Now, if we can just have a knowledge that help us get our promotion a bit earlier, or if we can just find a knowledge which can help us gain a little bit more passive income or a second income, or if we can just find the knowledge to help us manage our money better or to save us money. If we can just have $10,000 extra each year, let's say if we can find a way to increase our salary by just 20%, it will then shortcut those 40 years into 30 years. Now, for some people, that's still too long. So if we can just develop a second knowledge, just to increase our annual interest or return on investment from 5% to 6.5%, you will then shortcut this into just 25 years. So if we can start doing this by the age of 25, we should be able to retire before the age of 50 with just two key knowledges. One, instead of saving $10,000 a year, we just try to make another $10,000 a year additionally, part-time. Or if we can just get our promotion a bit quicker, or if we can just have one more knowledge to provide more value to our company to gain that $10,000 extra bonus a year, we can shortcut this 40 years into 30. With just the second knowledge of how to invest the money correctly, we should be able to have a 6.5% return on investment per year in average rather than 5%. And then we can shortcut that to 25 years, so on and so on. So now have you realized the importance of the key knowledge? One key knowledge can shortcut this to 10 years. Two key knowledge can shortcut this to 15 years. Now let's assume that we have 3 key knowledges, 4 key knowledges, 5 key knowledges. Imagine how much time it can save us on becoming financially independent. Now, here's a quote by a multimillionaire, Edgar Bronfman. He once said, to turn $100 into $110 is work. To turn 100 million into 110 million is inevitable. Now, I've realized this is really true because the more money, the more wealth that I've accumulated, I found out that my financial advisor just become better and better at their jobs. Now, if you can just have about $20,000 a year to invest, you should be able to find a good financial advisor to give you an annual return in average. Of course, I'm talking about long-term, okay? Long-term returns in average, somewhere around 6% to 10% a year. And most good financial advisors, the real good investment companies will be able to do that by charging you 1%. And once you have more than $100 million, their return will just be 10% plus. So secret number one here is to identify your missing puzzle. Identify the key knowledge or the key skills that you really need to help you become the gentleman who's driving a vehicle rather than try to become the fastest runner. But also face it here, a car without a wheel cannot run, okay? It's not easy to build a car. So it involves time and money we need to spend on self-development to help us build a proper car. And it's very important that we find the right mentor, the right network, and the right knowledge who can help you build a proper car. I mean, a car has about what? Somewhere around 20,000 components. But a car just without one component cannot run itself. A car without wheel cannot run. So therefore, here we go, comes to the secret number two. It's about finding the right mentor or finding the right mentors to help you identify the correct missing puzzle and to help you build a car with wheels and with all the necessary components. Remember that at the beginning, I shared my story with you that when I was 22 to 25 years old, I built this company called H2OCity.com in Taiwan, which was one of the largest discount network in Taiwan at the time. One of the major reasons that I failed to bring this company IPO is because I didn't have the connections and the knowledges to connect with professional investors, professional angel investors, no professional venture capital people. But ever since I found the right mentor 4 months ago, he was able to hook me up with the right angel investors and venture capitalists. He actually shared his network and his platform with me with an access to thousands of professional investors. Now, if I had met this mentor 20 years ago, my H2OCD.com won't become bankrupt. But that was my missing puzzle. Just one knowledge away from a small success on bringing this company to IPO. Okay, let's pause for a minute. Now, finding the right mentor is not an easy task. And it took me 22 years to finally find the right mentor for me. At the beginning, in my early entrepreneurial years, I listened to a lot of consultants' advice. And soon I realized that even though a lot of mentors doesn't mean it, sometimes they can feed you one poison knowledge that is so harmful that can knock you back right to the start with just one wrong decision. Jack Ma, the president of Alibaba, once shared his story that when he just first get the $50 million investment from Sun Zhenyi from SoftBank, he listened to, he started hiring a lot of fancy consultants in the world. And one of them told him, if you want to build the first-class company, you need to move your company to San Francisco, the Silicon Valley. And he did that. And he said that was the worst business decision he ever made in his life. That they lost so much money, they have to move back to China, and they nearly went bankrupt. Now, the same thing has also happened to me over the years. 15 months ago, I started paying a lot of money to learn from the best. But soon I realized that even though that I paid them a lot of money, because let's all face it, my budget to learn a year is somewhere around $20,000 to $30,000, and that's already a lot of money. But even though that I spent over $20,000 to $30,000 every year on learning from those top mentors, they don't really have time to coach me one-on-one. That because they are so successful, I can only learn from their videos. And I'll get lucky if I can just ask them a few questions. So soon I realized that the best mentor that you need is not necessarily the best in the world. It's someone that who actually have time for you. And he only have to be one step ahead of you. Because that's all go back to tip number 1. Identify our dreams, set step-by-step simple goals. If your mentors can just be one step ahead of you, he will be able to tell you what to do next, rather than what you have to do in the next 10 years. And I found this the hard way. After finding the right mentors who are able to tell me and teach me what to do next, I can easily identify my missing puzzle on each stage and just work on one key knowledge or one key skills that I need at the moment, concentrate on it, and hence move forward a lot faster, easier, and quicker. The next secret I learned that I want to share with you is to make your decision based on value, not on price. Okay? Make your decision based on value, not price. Sorry, just post now. Now, in the last 22 years, I've done a lot of things wrong. But the biggest mistake that I've made over the years is that I often make my decision based on its price rather than value. A lot of times that I try to do things cheaply or as freely as possible, which often push me that I have to run a lot faster. Russell Brunson once shared a story with us. He said that as an entrepreneur, the most common mistake we make is we try to find the how and not the who. But it's actually wrong. Now, if we want to build a house, first is we find the architect or designer to help us design the house. And then we'll find a builder to help us build it, right? But very often that we forget that, especially being an entrepreneur. That whenever we come up with a problem, a lot of times we try to learn the skills ourselves and try to do it ourselves. Let's imagine if we want to build a house, but rather than hire a builder, we try to learn how to become an electrician. And then we try to learn how to lay the floors. And then we try to learn how to do concrete. And then we try to learn everything ourselves. The house will probably never be built in your lifetime. We need to hire the right people. "15 months ago, when I just started 15 months ago, when I just decided to become an entrepreneur again and start my own company called Next Idea Marketing. I was happy with my smartphone, which only cost me around $200. I got a real good deal on it. But my wife insists me to get a phone which is $1,200 instead of $200. And she actually gave it to me as a gift. Now the functionality between the two smartphones are actually identical. So I thought, why do I need to spend 6 times more on a simple smartphone? But after she gave it to me as a gift, I soon realized that the better smartphone with a larger memory space and faster speed has actually saved me so much time that its value is way more than just $1,000. Now, if I've only based my decision based on price rather than value, I would have made the wrong decision. The same thing applies when I was trying to decide whether to buy an iPad or Android pad. A lot of people like me would often base their decision on price. That then we find, okay, well, this Android pad is now on sales for 50% off. It's a good deal. I should buy it. But a lot of times we forgot to think about all the other systems that we use in our day-to-day life. I mean, if we use Mac system all the time, we should buy an iPad rather than Android system, even if there's no sales or no discount at all. It will save you so much time on trying to use two different operating systems and then try to sync all the files or the work that you do based on your pad and your computer. Let's say if we just spend 10 more minutes because we bought something with an incompatible system. If we just waste 10 minutes a day trying to link the two systems together, 10 minutes a day means 3,650 minutes a year, which is roughly 60 working hours. Which is roughly 8 days of your work, which is roughly 2 weeks of your working time. Now, if you make more than $1,000 in 2 weeks, then you shouldn't be cheap. You should buy the right pad or the right computer to save you time. For example, we talked about the compound interest rate before, that if we can just earn $10,000 more a year, which will shortcut our retirement plan from 40 years to 30 years. Now, let's say if you come up with an opportunity, a training, or a passive income opportunity, or a financial investment knowledge that can help you gain just $10,000 more a year. But it's going to cost you $10,000 or $20,000 to learn it or to acquire it. Wouldn't it be worth a while for us to invest that kind of money just to save us 10 years of our lives? So secret number 3 is to make our decisions based on its value, not on its cost, and certainly not based on its price. Secret number 4 is that we need to be surrounded with the right people and network with them. Jim Rohn was Tony Robbins' first mentor and who changed his life. Tony Robbins is now a billionaire with more than 50 companies. And his first mentor, Jim Rohn, once told us a story about our coffee. He said in the story, what happens if you have a cup of coffee in front of you? And what happens if your worst enemy put a lot of sugars into it? Well, then we drink a too sweet coffee, right? But let's assume what happens if the same coffee, if someone who loves you, if someone you love, like your family or friends, who accidentally put a few drops of poison into it and you drink it, what will happen next? Well, if you're lucky, you'll probably end up in the hospital. If you're unlucky, you'll probably end up dead, right? So he said, always watch your coffee. Now, of course, we all understand here, coffee is really just a metaphor on the knowledge that we intake each day. But we need to be really careful on what coffee we drink each day. A lot of times, my friends or my families will like to give me their advice and suggestions, and I love them for it. A lot of times, they're actually right. But sometimes, it's really important that sometimes they give you one poison without knowing it. They still think they love you, but they give you the wrong piece of puzzle, which just won't work. Then you come up with a red car without wheels. So it's very important to be surrounded with the right people and the right network who can give you the right coffee at the right time. So it's very important to be around with the right people and the right network who can give us the right coffee at the right time. Charles Darwin once said, "It is not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent that survives. It is the one that is most adaptable to change." Without today's technology, things change so quickly and dramatically. That 10 years ago, the top 10 companies in the world, the top 10 most valuable companies in the world, 70% of them has already changed. 7 out of those 10 are already new companies, and most of them are technology companies. Only 3 of the most valuable companies 10 years ago are still in this chart. So it's very often that our family or friends or people around us are feeding us coffee that is actually 10 years ago, that they think it's still the right knowledge, and they love you, and that's why they share this knowledge with you. But if you're not around with the right people who are constantly learning and eager to learn, a lot of times those knowledges are no longer correct. Now, I once heard a story about Albert Einstein, that when Albert Einstein was teaching in his university years, he once gave the same exam questions to students 2 years in a row. And his assistant quickly realized that and asked, Professor Einstein, I don't know if you noticed, but the questions for the exam is actually the same as last year. And Albert Einstein replied, yes, I know, but the answers have changed. Now let's all think about that for a minute. Even in the science world, physics, knowledge or the right answer can change overnight. This is extremely true in today's business world. That if we want to success in today's competitive world, we need to keep our knowledges always up to date. Hence, we are learning the 3.0 or the 4.0 knowledge that can help us build a car, put us behind the wheels, rather than try to become the fastest runner. The other thing that I want to address is about mastermind groups, which is so important that if we read all the successful people's journals, autobiographies, or if we read Think and Grow Rich book by Napoleon Hill, we will notice that all the successful billionaires have mastermind groups. And by mastermind groups, it means 2 or more people actively engaged in the pursuit of a definite purpose with a positive attitude, constitute an unbeatable force. If we can surround with the right people, and we constantly talk to them, it becomes mastermind groups. And very often, just like the 0011 example, together we can come up with a much better solution. We will be able to think 3.0, 4.0. We will be able to find a 3.0, 4.0 solution, and hence help us develop a car and get to our destination a lot quicker, faster, easier. Now, in the past hour, would you agree that it's been time well spent so far? Now, let's all be honest here. I can't cover everything you need in just 1 hour, even if we had all day. However, if you are willing to learn how I apply those knowledges and those secrets into work, and how to build a car, how to use those key knowledges to build a car to give you such an unfair competitive advantage over the others. Please stay and listen to this offer that I'm going to give you. So I'm going to pause here. After today's training, if you still believe that you can figure out everything by yourself, that you will be able to find your own vehicle to carry you to your dream or your goal faster, quicker, and easier, then it's fine. And I truly, genuinely wish you succeed, wish you succeed, wish you success. But if you're like me, who have been trying to build a vehicle by himself, only to find out by the end, I built a car without wheels, then please stay for the last part of this webinar and listen to our offer. And hopefully, that rather than becoming the fastest runner or try to build a car on yourself, that we will be able to help you become this gentleman here who's behind the wheel and running the race unfairly with a lot of unfair competitive advantages. Now, we all have a disposable income, a few dollars a day that we can spend on either coffee, luxury, or we can spend on education, self-development. In our Students Must Know full training program, we will cover all those 12 key knowledges in 10 live sessions and trainings that I do with you. And there's always a 30-minute Q&A session afterwards for you to ask questions or interact with me personally. In this program, we'll cover all those 12 key knowledges or skills that are required for us to success and to put us behind the wheel, rather than trying to become the fastest runner. In the program, you will get 10 live sessions and trainings that's valued at $3,997. You will get 40 Q&A sessions per year to interact with me and ask questions. And after you've done the first 10 live trainings or sessions, you can always come back and redo it again and again, 3 times in a year. and with 40 live question Q&A sessions to answer your questions. We'll give you notes and the most updated knowledge for a year on what we learned, or the latest knowledge, or the latest technology that we should all know. And we'll also have our own network, our private Facebook groups that only our students can join. And they can build their own mastermind groups to interact and help with each other. Now, the total value of this is $9,900, but obviously I'm not going to charge you that because you are special. Now, this program will work for those people who want a passive income one day, or may become an entrepreneur or a business owner one day, or if you are someone who just want to climb the corporate ladder faster to gain that 20% salary increase, or to get that extra bonus per year to shortcut your retirement plan. Or if you are someone who values knowledge, network, and execution. Now, we all have two choices. The first option is to ignore this opportunity, try to figure out all the latest valuable key knowledges on your own. Or the second option, which requires a little higher investment, but in exchange, I can devote more resources to guarantee you success. Here's our first graduates from our shorter version of Students Must Know. They went to Gold Coast for a one-day training, which lasts about 4 to 5 hours. After the graduation, Zoe, who is already a CEO of her own company, Fan has already started his own cleaning business, Vincent and another gentleman called RJ, they're already business owners. Who are looking to start a new business with me in the next few months. Now, Zoe and Fan's business are both expected to be profitable within just 6 months, which will hence shortcut their dreams. And I believe I can do the same thing for you. Now, the testimonial part, we still need to come back and fix this. This is just the first draft of the webinar, so we will just keep it like this. Again, this is what you're going to get. 10 live training sessions with me. And you can come back and do this 3 times. You'll have more than 40 live Q&A sessions with me over a year. So the course itself lasts about 2.5 months. We take the training once a week for 10 weeks. And then over a year, you can come back and redo it 3 times. Also, you'll get 40 live Q&A sessions over the year with me. We will send you the latest notes or the latest update on key knowledges over a year. And you can also join our private Facebooks to form your own masterminds or to network with the other ambitious students like you over a year. Total value, $9,900. Now, if you decide to join today, we will also give you 2 bonuses. First bonus, one-on-one coaching from us, which is a bonus for the first 20 people who sign up today only. Sorry, I'm going to delete that. Sorry, I'm going to delete that. The part is not true. First bonus, we'll give you one-on-one coaching. You can spend it on how to get your dream job, interview skills, how to kill it in your interview. Or you can spend it on how to work out your life plan, how to figure out your dream, and how to find a good plan towards your dream. Again, we will work on the last parts later. Bonus 2, we'll give you a free passive income opportunity for you to make $10,000 extra a year just by spending 4 to 8 hours per week. We'll come back and cover the last part again. This is we'll just do a draft copy first, and then we'll come back and fix this and make this better. So total, this is what you're going to get. 10 live training sessions once a week, a full training course to teach you the 12 key knowledges, the 12 key skills that you need, which will give you 12 unfair competitive advantages over the others in the real world. We'll give you 40, you can come back and redo the training 3 times. We'll give you more than 40 plus opportunities live to ask questions, Q&A sessions per year. We'll give you the latest notes and the up-to-date knowledge for a year. We'll let you join our private Facebook group. You can form your own masterminds groups with the students you know yourself, with the students in our program. And you are able to share ideas with each other and network with them and us. A bonus, you'll get a one-on-one coaching from us on how to achieve your plan, or tutor you how to land your dream job or to get your dream internship. You'll have a passive income opportunity to help you earn $2,000 to $20,000 a year just by spending a few hours a week. Now, let's assume that if all this training did was just to save you 1 year, okay? So rather than save you 10 years on your retirement plan, if we can just save you 1 year to shortcut your success, will this program be worth it? $10,000. Now, if this program all it does is to give you the network to connect with the right people for your future. Would it be worth it? If all it does is to give you one key knowledge to help you find the right, to help you find the one key knowledge that you need, the missing puzzle, to help you put yourself behind the wheel rather than become the fastest runner, would it be worth it? Would it be worth $10,000? Now, obviously, I'm not going to charge you $10,000, but now you can probably see why it's a good deal at just $2,900 for the general public. Now, today, because you spent over 90 minutes with us, and because you are special with today's deal, if you click the link below to enroll, you'll get a special discount for just $1,997 today. After you join, you'll realize there's actually bonus 3, 4, and 5. There's so many business opportunities. There's so many job opportunities. There's so many passive income opportunities with our network, which was a lot more than what you just paid. Now you have two choices. The first option is to do nothing. Do not take this leap of faith, which is 100% risk-free. Or the second option is to pony up this small investment today compared to all the values you'll get in return and just to give it a shot. If it works, then great. If not, just ask for your money back and you will get it. Because we are so confident with the program that we've developed, it's going to help you and the value that we provide. We actually give you a 30-day money-back guarantee, no question asked. So if you sign up today, even if you don't like it for any reason, I don't care if it's the 29th day, 23rd hour, and the 59th minute from now, just let me know, and we will give you your money back. All right, there's no risk for you to try. Now, the real question is it worth gambling a few minutes of your time to check this out? Which, if it does even just half of what I've planned today on this webinar, will pay it for yourself. And last, let me close. Go back to my dream at the beginning. That in our company, we love Academy. We do things a little bit differently. Because our goal is to save lives more than make money. That we are actually 51% NPO, nonprofit organization, and only 49% business. So for all the people who enroll to our course, we immediately, within just 10 days, we donate 5% of our revenue to charities like Charity Water to give people access to clean water, or Save the Children to save children from dying from world hunger. And even if you refund your money later, in 30 days, we don't get that money back. We still donate it. So just give it a shot. Just give it a try. You are saving lives with us. And by the end of the year, even though that we donate 5% of the revenue up front, just to make sure they were legit, and we always donate, by the end of the year, if we are lucky enough to make more money than what we donate over a year, we will always make sure that we donate the difference. We will always make sure that by the end of the year, we donate more than 51% of our profit to charities. And our investors and our employees and colleagues only get to keep the other 49%. So please help us achieve this dream. Give it a shot. Give yourself a shot to gain those unfair competitive advantages over the others. And I promise I won't let you down. The worst case scenario is you get your money back within 30 days. Here's the last 4 quotes that my mentor gave me that I just want to share with you. And I hope you've enjoyed today's webinar. God bless. Okay, this is only a draft that we're going to come back and fix it again and again later. But we're just going to do a draft video now just to see how it works. And then we will come back and make it perfect again and again and again. Okay, this is the beta 04 version of the Students Must Know Perfect webinar. Thank you for your time today. Bye.